Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for being here today. We've got a new story to share, and it's one that's still hard for me to fully believe. My name is Marcus, and after 6 years of marriage my wife, Elena, told me she needed a break. Just a week, she said. A little time to clear her head. That's what she called it. At first I didn't know how to respond. I'd heard that phrase before, I need space. And I've lived long enough to know that, most of the time when someone says that, they're not just talking about needing a walk in the park. There's usually someone else waiting in that space. Still, I didn't jump to conclusions. I wanted to believe in her, in us. But by the third day, it became heartbreakingly obvious. She'd already moved on, physically, emotionally, and probably long before she said a word. But before we get to that moment, when everything snapped into focus, let me take you back to where it all started. Because that's the only way this story really makes sense. How it began. 9 years ago, a few of our mutual friends invited us to a small game night in a cozy apartment downtown. I didn't know it then, but they were playing matchmaker. Every game we played, they teamed me up with Elena. From the moment we sat side by side, there was something magnetic between us. She was sharp, had this dry, clever humor, and when she looked at you, she really looked like she was listening with her entire soul. After that night we started texting, then talking for hours. 2 days later we met again, this time just the two of us. I was in my mid-20s, grinding through a demanding job, still figuring things out. Elena was finishing grad school, bursting with energy and vision. Despite being in different phases of life, we clicked. We'd take weekend road trips with no destination, just following the stars. We'd pull into little motels at 2 a.m. because neither of us wanted to say goodbye yet. When her final year of school got tough, I couldn't solve her problems, but I could show up, could listen. I could hold her when she needed to fall apart. And she told me more than once that just having me there helped her breathe easier. A life built together. About a year in, I landed a better job. More stable hours, better pay. Things were looking up. Once she graduated and found a good job herself, we moved in together. By the 3rd year, I knew I didn't need to wait anymore. I bought a ring and proposed at the same park where we had our first real date. She cried. She said yes. The wedding was simple. Nothing flashy. Just family, a few close friends, and vows that felt real. In those early years we were building something that felt solid. We had our arguments like any couple. Little things, nothing explosive. But we always came back to each other. Until we didn't. The drift. By our 5th year things started to feel off. Elena was coming home later. At first it was just now and then. Meetings that ran long, late deadlines. But soon it became routine, 2 or 3 nights a week. When I asked gently if work was getting stressful, her mood shifted. She got cold, even defensive. Why are you asking? Don't you trust me? She snapped. That caught me off guard. I wasn't accusing. I just wanted to understand. The warmth we had was slowly fading. Disagreements lasted longer. She started to emotionally check out, shutting down instead of working things through. Her eyes stopped lighting up. Her smile was more of a formality. Some nights we sat in the same room for hours and barely spoke. She was glued to her phone, texting, scrolling. Not really there. I tried to revive things. Planned surprise dates. Offered to take her to her favorite Italian place. But every time she had an excuse. Too tired. Too busy. Maybe later. When she did agree to go, it felt like I was eating dinner with a stranger. She nodded at the wrong times, zoned out mid-conversation. The woman sitting across from me wasn't the woman I married. The dinner that changed everything. One Friday I decided to go all in. I made her favorite, homemade lasagna, and went all out. Candles, music, even set the table like it was our anniversary. I wanted her to see that I still cared. That I was still trying. When she walked in and saw me in the kitchen, apron on, sauce simmering, she smiled. Not a full one, but enough to give me hope. We sat down. She complimented the food. For a second things felt normal again. Then she put down her fork and looked at me. Her expression shifted. I've been meaning to say this for a while, she began. I'm not feeling this marriage anymore. I think I need space. Maybe a week to clear my head. And blinked. What do you mean, space? Asked gently. She sighed. I just feel numb. I'm not excited anymore. I offered counseling. Patience. I told her we could work through this. Her answer. Maybe. But I think I need to be alone for a bit. The next morning, she packed a small duffel bag and left. Said she was going to a quiet retreat, then staying at her parents' for a few days. I didn't protest. I just nodded, my chest tight. But something didn't sit right. The truth comes out. By day 3, I got a message from a close friend. He sent me a screenshot from Instagram. Bro, did you and Elena split up? I hadn't used Instagram in years. But the photo made my stomach flip. There she was, Elena, at a rooftop bar, smiling wide, leaning against another man. A man I recognized, Derek, her coworker. The one she always said was, just a friend. I reactivated my account and searched for more. The photo was gone, deleted. But on Derek's page it was still there. And there were more. His Instagram stories showed them together at different places. Laughing, kissing, holding hands. I called a mutual friend who works in HR at her company and casually asked if Elena had time off approved. Yeah, she's on 2 weeks leave, he said. Didn't she tell you? And Derek? Yes. Same dates. It all clicked. She hadn't gone to reflect. She went on vacation with him. Taking back my power. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, opened my laptop and typed. Best divorce attorney near me. I met with one the next morning. Told him everything. Showed him the screenshots. He listened patiently. Then he broke it down. Asterisk, we were renting, and the lease was in my name. Asterisk, our joint bank account. I was the only one consistently depositing. I had records to prove it. Asterisk, and most importantly, no kids. No custody issues. Asterisk, even better. In our state, if one partner cheats, they lose any claim to alimony. If you can prove infidelity, he said, you're walking away clean. So I looked him in the eye and said, file the papers. Today. The end, and the beginning. Elena said she'd be gone for a week. But she didn't come back until nearly 2. When she returned, she found the locks changed. Her key didn't work. She called me. Picked up calmly. We're done, I said. You didn't need space. You needed him. You've got him now. And I've got my freedom. She was silent on the other end. Maybe trying to explain, maybe just breathing. But I didn't let her speak. You don't need to explain anything, I added. My lawyer will send the divorce papers. Let me know where you want them sent. Your boyfriend's place or your parents'. Makes no difference to me. She never came back to that house. The divorce was quick. Clean. The court saw the evidence. The money was divided fairly, based on contribution. She tried to paint me as emotionally distant in court. I didn't even argue. Her talk. It didn't change the outcome. Because by then, I was already done grieving a marriage that died long before it ended. I walked away with my dignity, my peace, and a heart ready to heal.